What is the most powerful card in Magic the Gathering? Is it Kobolds of Kirkheap? What about Crookshank Kobolds and Crimson Kobolds? Or is it another card? Well, what if I told you that the most broken, most patently unfair and unstoppable spell in the entire game was Horseshoe Crab?
Magic the Gathering.
Horseshoe Crab is a 1/3 crab for 2 generic and 1 blue mana. It has an activated ability, where you can pay 1 blue to untap it. So let's try to go infinite with it. So after our crab is on the battlefield, we play Agatha's Soul Cauldron. It's an artifact with a lot of abilities, but the only one we care about right now is the fact that we can activate abilities with any color mana instead of just the color mana it normally costs. Next, we play a card called Dual Casting. It's an aura that gives a creature the ability to copy an instant or sorcery we control, after we tap it and pay 1 red. So let's attach it to the Horseshoe Crab. Now the crab has 2 abilities that we can spend any color of mana to activate. So then let's play Dark Ritual. In case you don't know, it's an instant for 1 black that adds 3 black to your mana pool. In case you didn't already see this coming, this is where we get infinite mana. Okay, so we cast the Dark Ritual, giving us 3 black. We pay 1 black to tap the crab and copy the spell. Then pay 1 to untap, then pay to tap again. Because it ends up costing 2 to copy, and the spell gives us 3 mana, this gives us infinite black mana. But there's a problem. There are just too many cool non-black spells that I'm missing out on. So let's cast a Chromatic Orrery for 7 generic, which lets us spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Perfect, now we can play basically any card. But I want more than just infinite mana. I want infinite cards in my library. So let's cast the research half of Research and Development. This lets us put 4 cards from outside the game into our library. So with the same method used to copy Dark Ritual, we copy Research infinite times to add infinity times 4 cards to our library. But those cards are just in our library, and I want them in my hand. This one is pretty easy. Just cast any instant or sorcery that lets you draw cards and copy it with the crab. And due to the nature of infinity, I can draw infinite cards and still have infinite in my library. Okay, so I did that, and now I have a playset of every vintage legal card in my hand. This allows me to essentially pull off any combo I want, so I'm going to do the worst one possible. First, let's play a spell book so I don't have to discard anything. I'm going to play a Chronotog, which lets me skip my turn in exchange for +3/+3, an ability so good they never printed the card again. Next, I'll play the One Ring, which gives me protection from everything until my next turn. But there won't be a next turn, because I'll keep skipping it during my opponent's turn, making me invincible forever. This forces my opponent to take 50 turns in a row where they can't do anything, until they draw themselves out and lose to having no cards in their library. Now, Video Depository, I hear you asking, what if they kill the Chronotog? After all, you don't have infinite mana anymore. Your main phase has passed. But this is a stupid question, because this whole time I have been +1ing Nissa Who Shakes the World, and have just executed her ultimate, which lets me put Infinity Forests into play, which produce mana of any color due to Chromatic Orrery. This, combined with my Infinity counterspells, should protect her. So yeah, that's why Horseshoe Crab is my favorite card. And for these reasons, it deserves a place right next to the other most iconic Magic the Gathering cards ever printed.